Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. So today we are going to continue working on shopping manager project, and we are finally going to start working on a front end using VueJS. So let me just look at the chat. So if you are watching the stream, feel free to drop message in live chat. I will try to respond all the messages. Let me make sure that I use send out message in Discord. That one is out. That one is also out. Cool. Looks like we are all set. Cool. It's fine. So let me just open the project. Okay. And let me open browser. Okay. So if you want to create a project using VueJS, you use their CLI tool, which is called VueCLI. The VueCLI is really powerful that it can create a project. It asks you for different questions and it creates a project according to your answers. So that is pretty cool. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I have the latest version of the VueCLI. So let me make sure that it should be. Live chat is taking too much place. I will put it on here. Okay. It's taking long. It is weird. Usually the install is really fast. Yeah, finally. Okay, and then we can say that view create. Basically, if you are creating a front end, you might name it something like a shopping manager, but our code is for this project, our code is defined in two folders, server and client, where server folder contains all the code for backend server, and our client folder will contain all the code related to our front end, which will be a Vue project. So that's why I'm using client as my project name. Then it will ask some questions. Okay, let me make sure that we should use it or not. It's still in the preview, so I don't think so we should use it. Vue 3 is coming out soon. Vue 3 TypeScript. Yeah, it's still a beta version, so not sure how good it will be to choose it for project. Yep, docs are subject to change, so I don't think so we are going to use Vue 3 unfortunately in this project. The only reason is it's still in beta version. I will definitely start using it once it's in its stable version. So let's just go with Vue 2 at first for now. Wait a minute, sorry. Create it again, override, manually select features. We won't be able, we don't actually want PWA support, we want router, we want Vuex. Yeah, we can use a preprocessor as well. We are skipping testing for this project because we will kind of doing it manually anyways, so that's why. Hey Chirag, welcome to the string. Thank you so much. So how was the day in India? We will use 2.x. Use history mode for router, yes, definitely. We will use it with node SAS. There was a difference between those two SAS. I think the Dart was a good one. Primarily limited SAS, which means the npm is just a compiled version which is slower than node SAS or the npm.js package of or native .SAS. Okay, so it bit slow, I guess. Using that SAS npm.js package instead of node SAS, which is much slower than node SAS. Yeah, so we'll definitely go with node SAS. We will go ESLint plus airbnb config. We will also force to lint on commits, dedicated config files. I always like those configs in different files rather than in just one in package.json. Save this preset for future. No. Okay. It will take a time. As you're saying that it asks several different questions while we create a project. So it will create a Vue project with all those configs already in the project, so we don't have to do anything else. We can just start working on the project. Hey Mr. PhD, welcome to the stream. Hey, I'm late. Oh, that's fine. I was waiting for you though. Okay. Okay, we can ignore it for now. Let me just open it on VS Code. And it's here. Is audio and stream quality good today? Let me know if you face any lag or if you can't hear me properly. It was pretty good. My day actually just started, but yeah, yesterday it was good. I did some assignments and everything. I have lectures at 12 a.m. so maybe in approximately in next 3 hours. So that's they have come success in so admin dashboard to check out payment gateway integration dark theme in React.js. Sorry, Admin dashboard to checkout payment gateway integration dark theme in React.js. Uh, what do you mean by that? I am a bit confused. Thanks Chirag and Mr. PhD for confirming the quality. Admin dashboard to checkout. Okay. Is this what you are talking about? Online payment processing. Hey Devkamal, I'm not sure what you are talking about. Can you give more information on that?
I'm not sure. Thanks for
Oh,
keeping me on.
sorry about that. It's my Google. Devkamal, if you're still watching, can you give some more information on that? Okay. Admin dashboard means for manage ports. Yeah. Okay, but is it like a is to checkout? Are you mentioning some? Is it some kind of a React library or something like that? Because I can find a to checkout, but it's a I think it's a service. Stripe payment gateway. Do you have a link for that? I am not from React world, so it's hard for me to find it. You can join our Discord server. You can find a link in description, and you can paste link in general channel. I guess I can look at the because unfortunately YouTube won't allow to drop links. Sorry, but it is hard for me to connect dots and find what you are mentioning here. Who helping in streams? I think I've been listening to check out payment gateway integration dark theme in React.js. Yeah, not sure what he actually talking about. If he can provide us some kind of link, then it will be easier to understand. It's also hard for me to connect dots because we are like streaming or we are creating a full stack application and I'm not sure what he is talking about here. Sorry about that. I need a bit more clarification on that one. So this is what VueJS created for us. Uh, you can find all the dependencies it installed. These all of these dependencies. These are the dependencies that will be used in our production version. These are the dependencies that we will be using while we develop this application. It also created this git hooks so that whenever I will commit any change, it will make sure that our code is following all the ESLint rules. So that is pretty good. So it will first lint it and then it will add to the git git commit history. Any payment gateway what you like. So are you offering payment gateway or something like that? Or is it some kind of a library that you're mentioning? And all the code for our Vue project is inside this source library. And here you can find the main. Okay, let me will be use. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, okay. So here is our main file, which includes, which creates a new Vue, our Vue project instance. And it imports different files like router, store, and everything. And then you can find our public directory, which has index file, and it has a div with a tag of with the ID of app, and this is where our Vue code will be inserted. Yeah, it's Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code. Sorry, those both things are completely different. And basically, if you like in the future, if you are doing a application that will be on client side, then you have multiple favicons so that it works properly in all kind of devices. So you add all those kind of stuff here in public directory, and in our source directory, as you have seen that our main file which creates a Vue instance, and then we have our app.vue, which has the top level main component in our Vue project. So here is this router link component is coming from the Vue router library, and then we have router view. Okay. And our asset folders have different logos and everything. Then we have components, which we can define it as a small component rather than the whole page. Something like a model, which will be a component, but a login page will be a view because that it includes the whole page. And you can see that they have imported the hello world from components, and they are using it in our home component. And we have our router file. The router file defines all the routes for our VueJS project. And you can see that they are importing the about.view once user go to about route. This, as they are mentioned here, it's called lazy loading, so it improves the performance. And we have a store. So store is, you can define, like you can compare it to a Redux in React.js. A store will be used to keep track of different states. Your component can have a state in its own level, but usually there will be a state, something like the data you have fetched from API, that you will be using it in different components, right? So if you're using something like Vuex, then you can access that state in different components at any time. And whenever you will make any changes to this this data in our state, it will automatically update our components to reflect the latest version, latest value. So that was a brief introduction. This project stream is still focusing on creating a project rather than teaching it. So that's why I haven't gone too deep, because what I think is there are several different YouTubers who can teach you way better than me, and there are way better tutorials out there which can help you to understand each and every module of this project. Module of the Vue.js. You must be bored as hell. I will be back. I forgot to uh, fill up my bottle before stream, so I will just back in few minutes. Hey everyone. Yeah, Mr. Biotin Part is talking about Part's college and everything. Yeah, so in Canada, it's the college and university have a bit different. Universities are usually have like a long length courses like 4 years or like 3 years of like usually 4 years programs, while colleges usually have uh, diplomas and advanced diplomas like 2 or 3 years programs. So that's why there is a difference between college and university. But in India, it's same, so it's hard to find that difference. Close all this and let's run our project. What the script for that? npm run. So I will also add a flag called open. It will open our project in the browser. Otherwise, we will have to do it manually. And who likes to do it manually? npm run. So it should be inside client folder. Yeah, degree versus diploma. Yeah. Let me remove the load modules folder. I will also need to remove the git folder because Vue select when create a project, it also comes with a default git directory. So we'll also need to do that. Oh shit. I deleted git ignore, which I shouldn't do it. I might need to create it again. Would it be this git ignore? Package is test temp. I can also do. Let me just find my old project. And this is what usually it has. So let's just add that. Okay. And we have deleted the .git folder. Let's also remove package log file, and then I can install all the packages again. Yeah, so if you remove any file from command line, it removes it permanently. That's the bad thing about it. The thing is, I thought it will stop at .git because there are two files. The folder was .git and the file was .git ignore. So usually it stops when it finds until the characters are matching with like multiple files or multiple folders, right? But for some reason it didn't stop at that and created git ignore. So my bad. Let's try serving it again. Why is it not working? No valid export main found for color. Don't tell me that I have to fix this now. Starting error, no. Okay. nvm install latest. So I have 13.6, which is currently I am using. Let me find the latest Node.js version. What's the difference between npm and nvm? So npm is to install packages. On the other hand, nvm is to manage multiple node versions on your device. So basically you can see that I have 3 versions installed on my computer, right? So if I want to just change to 10.15.1 version, I can just use that nvm use version 10.15.1, and then my shell will be using that version. So it is really helpful when you are working with multiple node versions. It also makes easy to install latest or like install different versions and that's 12.18.3 and 14.10.0. So let's go with 14.10.0. nvm install 14.10.0. And if I create a new shell node.v, and I'm using the latest one, that's nice. So let's try running that command again. I might need to reinstall the packages. Hey Shivani, welcome to the stream. So does this mean that it is working? Nah. Yeah, I will just need to install it again. Package log.json. Let's install it again. Maybe that was the reason why it wasn't working for me in VuePress. So I was creating documentation for the upcoming project so that it gets easier for developers who want to join join our large project, but I was getting some error in while I create a VuePress project. So I think that was the issue, the same issue with this one. I think I will try it again. I rewrite it again from scratch using different library, so it's okay. I don't really need to rewrite everything again, but we will see how it goes. Please work. Yeah, it is working, thank God. And here it is. It is our application, and let me show you just one thing. We are seeing this, right? There's this navigation, and we have different router links, and then we have this router view component. So router view component is basically a component where it will show the different views for different pages. So we have one view for home page and another one for about, right? So whenever we will click link about, this area, this top area will remain same, and this is this whole component is the router view component. So whenever we go to about page, you can see that the link also changed, and it changed the content in router view component. For this project we are also using Vuetify, so that's we will also install that one. Get started. Vuetify is a component library for Vue, so that is nice. Let's open another terminal. Let's commit everything. Created initial commit for frontend. Let's push it to GitHub. Okay, let me do this. So I have created this small bash file which basically swaps between my different SSH key in my SSH what we call it, SSH agent in my terminal, right? So now I am using my proper SSH key for my coding with phone account. So now when I try to push it, it should work. Yep, everything is up in the cloud. Nice. So now we can add the Vuetify to a project. Let's just use np. Go to client and npx. Okay, install 1 in 2.2 seconds. Command not from view. Oh, I think I will need to, because we install the Vue CLI in separate node version, so we will need to install it again. Install Vue CLI. You used aliases, right? You never heard of? Yeah, those are the aliases that I have added in my bash script. It makes very easy. And this is not I have created from scratch. I am using bash profile from coding with CJ. Oh, it should be CJ. Dot files. Yeah, it's this one, and the bash profile. So I am using the bash profile from him. I have pasted the link in our chat. You can check it out. Okay. So let's try to add Vuetify again. And this is another great thing about VueJS, that you can easily add plugins to your project by a very simple command. You don't need, it will also, so this command will also add configuration to a project, and we don't need to do anything else. We just need to run this command and everything is already set up for you. Default. Okay. And we can ignore this error because it's just a linting error. And we can see that it made some changes to our files. It created this vue.config file. Then it added some dependencies. In the main file, it added Vuetify to our view options. Then it added this, it just replaced our application. Let's just, why is it complaining? Oh yeah, it should add the view file extension. It's nice. Then it also created this plugins folder where we have config for our Vuetify, where we can add some options like which kind of theme we want and everything, and it works. Okay. And then it made some changes to hello world as well. It should be PNG, right? cannot find module assets logo.svg. It should be there. Why is it complaining? You know what, we can just ignore this. We are not going to use it, so anyways, so let's open our application again. It should work. Is there any issues? So Vuetify has a large library of different components, as you can see here, different UI components and everything. And when this command added this line, this line is basically letting us to use all of the Vuetify components in our any other components without importing anything from Vuetify. So that is nice thing. So at this moment we are basically importing every components, right? So if in the production version you want to improve the performance, then you can, rather than doing this, you can import the component that you are using in individual component files. So as you can see that it already made some changes and looks much better. So let's just start working on this. We will just remove this basic things from our server. This is the navbar. Is it? Oh yeah, the test version. Yeah, that's the navbar. We might keep it. And let's just remove this hello world component. We just need to change this file. Yeah, our home file is also importing this hello world file, and we can also remove this. Then we also need to remove this line where we are using that component, and it should work. And we have nothing on the page. So let's go to app.view, and we are using Vuetify logo. It is grabbing that logo. So we don't really need that, because we will be just naming it as shopping manager. A quick break. If you guys are watching, feel free to drop message in live chat. Okay, and we can just say that shopping manager. And it has already changed the value. We can also do something like v.button, and we can say that whenever user click on this, then we will redirect to the main file. So if we go to about page, then we can just click shopping manager and it gets back to the home route. Let me find if there is a v link in Vuetify. It's this one, text one, and this one is called That is the property. Hmm. It's been a while, where then I like it's almost 3 or 4 months before I have used this VueJS, so that's why it's being a bit hard for me to remember everything. Hey Kurvin, welcome to the stream. How was your day today? View source, then text. We just had text. Okay, nice. So where did that go? Yeah, here. Looks much better. It looks bad, so let me just do it something like this. I think that's good enough. Close these files. Okay, and we are seeing that shopping manager. Okay, that's good to hear. Just guessing, lol. V-A. Nah, we can also use the router link if you want. And then we can give it a to property which says that go to the main route. Let's see if how that works. And we are having some issues with this. It's the color and everything. I just skip it as it was before. It doesn't really matter, it's an admin panel, so it's fine. Okay, we can change it to dark if you want. Cool, it looks better. We don't need that latest release thing. We might create a login button though. We need that space here, and we can do it like there isn't any href. We don't need that. It's a text type. It was at on click. Yeah, that's that. And we can create a logout method which will basically create a JWT from our local store. Then let's just define a method, and we will call this method logout. Future change with store actions. You will get more idea about store actions once we start working with Vuex. So let's just, for now we will just do it like console logout, and we will also need to add vif. Make sure that button is visible only when user is logged in. Okay, so let's go to our home route and we will make some changes there. So our home route, let's go to the v.app. That is also kind of a the highest level component in Vuetify. Provides the application the proper gutter. Are we using view container fluid in our app route? Oh, I removed the view router. Oops. So let's just add a view. There was this thing, yeah, v navigation, which we also do we need it? Yeah, we will need that. View navigation. So it creates, where did that go? So setting up the Vuetify, it's a bit confusing, but it is really useful when you can add so many things very easily. So this is there was a examples for apps that we can also use. Vuetify, v.app examples. Here is the application layout, and we can use a not this one. I think it's baseline one. Yeah, it also comes with this navigation bar, so it will be useful when we can add, like, it will be useful once you logs in, then we can add different links like products and users and everything for admin, and we will make sure that if other links are only showed when user is admin, otherwise it won't be showing to the front end. So that's what we are going to use. So this is how that looks like. So then we have this v dash navigation drawer, and that's what we'll be using. And then we need a variable called drawer, which will contain values of in boolean value. So what this drawer variable does is keeps tracks of the state of the navigation. Then, so if the value is true, then it will open the drawer, otherwise it will close it. Hey RCS, welcome to the stream. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Okay. And then we don't really need icons. We can share a dashboard, and we will just call it products, because that is the only thing that other managers will see. They don't really need any other pages, and if the user is admin, then he will it will show users, then it will also show stores, right? It was stores where user can different at stores, and in the products route we will create a button where user can say like add new product, and yeah, that's what we will do, and we will show that button only if user is admin. So this way we don't really need too many different views for our project. Yeah, I will ask her later. Okay, so that should add it to a project, right? And then this file also had this nav button which toggles the drawer, which we can add in our app bar right around here. Then we can just toggle our drawer. Nice. And for now, let's just call login page for now, so that we can see that the value is there. Right now we can't see anything because I think the h1 tag is behind this navbar. So let's try finding it. You can also for Vue we also have Vue dev tools that we can install. I have this already installed on my personal Chrome version. I didn't install it on Coding with Fun instance, so let me just install it, add the extension, and this DevTools is really powerful. Let me show why. So once we will need to refresh it. Okay, and I think I will need to open it again, and here it is. So first of all, you can go through different components, and whenever you click a component you can see their props and the data. Quick break. Oh, I think hey Mr. Bill, I think he's my friend, I guess. He's using different names, so I can't actually find it. But yeah, you can ignore it. It's not related to coding. Then we have this app bar, and we have a button, and you can find all the props it has, the default props, and then you can also find the data related to it and everything else. So when we click this, you can open the drawer. And when you click a vmain, wait a minute, let me make sure that we are importing a home route in the root. Oh, I forgot to add router view. That's why it isn't showing up. Router view. Yep, and here it is. Oh, sorry. I missed that message. Maybe make mobile/desktop apps with Apache Cordova in future. Yeah, definitely. I am thinking about that. I have heard that you can easily create applications for multiple platforms using that code hour. So yeah, I will do that in future maybe. Okay. And I think it has a to property which we can set to say go to products route. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works, but we don't have any component created for products, so that's why it isn't showing anything else. So let's just do this for all other links. That is our navbar, and this is our main router view. This is cool. Okay, so that's all we basically need for this whole application layout for now. And now we can start working on the home route. So what I want to do is I want to do first is create a login form in our home file so that user can log in. There was also a flex components which we can use. So I want to show them in between. We can also use it. Yeah, let's just do it by using styles. It will be a good example. So first of all, we need to add a form which we can grab from Vuetify. By the simple form, something like this. Then it has some script tags. So let's just first of all install add these methods. Okay, and then we have this computed methods. So computed is a sorry, properties. So these are the properties that are being evaluated from the existing state in our component. Expected an assignment or function call and instead saw an expression. What kind of syntax is this? If there is any error, then return errors. Okay. Errors.push. Okay, okay, I see. So it should be rather we should write it like this. So if this is checked, then you must agree to continue, right? That's how it is working. And then we are returning errors. So that's how we are doing it here. And then we have some state. I'm feeling like that I shouldn't use Vuetify. It's adding too many things to my components and it looks disgusting. Yeah, not sure why they have added this weird syntax. Okay, and what else is missing? Validations. Are we getting any errors? Yeah. Expected assignment of function call. Oh, it's here. Let's see how it looks. And it's the home route. And why is it not showing up? Let's refresh it. F12. We are getting some errors. Cannot read property name. Dash v dot yeah, I think we will need to add that line. This is something that new. I never used this in the past. I think we will need to refactor code once we complete this. Then we will also need to import these files in our script tag. We will need to install validate library npm install. It's linting problem, not a syntax error though. Yeah, that's true. But we are forced to check linting on save, so that's why it's complaining. Let's see how that looks. Looks nice. Let's refresh it. Okay, works. It works now. Good. Then if I add wrong values, then you can see that it already displays the error messages and it updates automatically. So that is the great thing about this. It did require to add so many things to our component, but as you can see that it works from out of the box, right? So that is that's why I prefer using Vuetify. It does require too many code refactoring while working with while developing project, but I think it worth it. Hey Deep, welcome to the stream. So we need only two fields. We will use it to username. Error message will be username errors. Let me open our server as well, because I don't remember what was the limit for users. User.model max length is 15, and here it is. Yeah, okay, counter is 15. Label name v.name touch. I'm not sure what it is doing, but yeah. Error messages, then it will be then this field is password. Is there a component called password? The label will be for password. Just change it here as well. Username. Password errors. Then we don't need any select or any checkbox, so we can just remove it. It should be a method, right? Why is it complaining? I think I will need to reload VS Code. Using standard DOM is possible using onChange property, I think. Yeah, but like we will need to add too many logic and everything from scratch, and it would be way better to use something like Vuetify, right? So that's why. Vuetify parcel field, text field component, and think we can just pass some kind of prop. Disable dance icons, clearable, character count, auto heading details. Here it is. Roles name. Using a standard DOM is possible using onChange. Field? What do you mean? Like so? So what do you mean by that? I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused at this moment. So that is a text field. We are passing it to model. Append icon, show. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, the type is password. Yeah, let's just add this, right? It will be cool. And it will toggle type as well. Rather than calling it show one, we can say that show password. And it's also a data which will keep track of showing password or not. And let's see how that works. Yeah, it is showing that. If I click it, why can't I click it? Yeah, at click dot append. Oh, it's using show. It should be show password. Yeah, that works. Nice. I saw field before. Lol. What is it? It's a property. Yeah, that might be showing that if the form is filled, I guess. Not sure. Then we also need, rather than doing calling it name, you can call it username, and it will be a password. Select. We don't require. We don't need any items. We don't need any checkbox. On reset, we will change username to blank string, and we will do same for password. We don't need these two methods. Username error, so if it's dirty, then it's error. If the minimum length, I think we will need to define it as well. Oh, sorry, it's here. We define it here. Minimum length. The minimum length will be 3 and the maximum is 15. We will need to import it from validators. We don't need email, so we can just remove it. And we can also remove validators for select and checkbox. Also, let me just change this in the app.view. By default, it will be closed. Okay, so username, password, name is required. We'll need to change validators to username, and this is password. We also need to change this. So if we have less characters, it should show mass error, right? Minimum length. We are calling a minimum length method. If the minimum length is not 3, then we need to push an error saying that name must be at least 3 characters, and this should be 15. Touch of undefined. Why that would be? Okay, it's because of this. It should be username, and same goes with this email field. It should be password. And now it works. And if we have only 2 characters, it works. We are still getting error for password. Why that would be? Cannot read property touch of undefined. Oh, it's in here. Property or method. Password errors is not defined. Oh yeah, I'm still calling it email errors. Password errors. And now it is doing all the validation. And let's see what other validation we applied to our passwords. Should be auth, login validator. Password should minimum 6 characters and maximum 30. Oh, sorry for switching too many windows. Hey Coda, welcome to the stream. So how's the morning? Okay, so let's just add those validation to password as well. Max length would be 30 and minimum length would be 6 characters. And is there any, I think we will, let me find if we can match it with regex as well. Bad idea to include mean and max length for password. Oh, I am doing it because we at least required 6 characters in password, right? Oh, the reason is then we in the backend we are also checking if the user has entered 6 characters or 30 characters or not, right? Then we will be sending error as well from backend as well. So we'll so user from backend we are not saying any proper error. Oh yeah, we are saying that, but it's still, we are still matching it to pattern, right? So the message would be it didn't match with password pattern. So user will not get an idea what actually is wrong with his password, right? So that's why I'm choosing to go with minimum length and max length for password. Yeah, they can do it from length, I understand that, but we at least need some kind of explanation to the user that why their password is not working. If we don't tell them that you at least need 6 characters, then how they would know that they should enter at least 6 characters password, right? So that is the reason we are using it. And we will need to add a counter. It will be at 30 as well. Let's clear it and refresh it. Email is required. Not email, it should be password. Now I just copy this. And now error message should include proper things. Why is it still not working? Oh, it's still this one, sorry. We will need to change it to password. Nice. And it should be 6 characters and 30. Nice, it is working. Register is understandable, all right, man. Yeah. I'm not ignoring you, Neil. I thought you just said wave. You just say hi. So how was your day today? Okay. So it's almost done. Like a front end. Now we will need to make sure that we make request to yeah. Now we'll need to make sure that we make request to our server. Once this ends, let me just first find that vflex. It was a, I think it's called grade. Yeah, grade system. I want to go with 2 by 3. So okay, and 1. Okay. Uh, hmm, is it dependent to class? Let's just do it. Yeah, I think I mentioned that we'll do it manually. So let's just do that. Home class. So in view file, you can add style. We want SCSS scoped style block. So basically what does this code block means that we want styling. So basically we will be writing SCSS code here, and we are saying that this is scoped to this component only. So this style will not overwrite any other component in any other components. So that's what this scoped property means, attribute means. So let's just add our style that if the home class is minimum width is 400 pixel, otherwise width is 75%, and we will get the margin 0 and auto. Let's see how it looks. It's not working. Let's have a short break. SCSS, is that international? Did you say international? I need to, let me just increase the size. Intentional? Yeah, it's intentional because so if you mention lang is equal to SCSS, then you can use SCSS in your styling code. If you mention less, then you can less in your SCSS code. It's not required, but yeah, it means on purpose. Yeah, the font size was very small, so that's why I was reading it wrong. Yeah, I have heard about that. PUBG is banned in India. You can play COD as well. It's a good game. The home class, it has width of 75%. We might need to refresh it. Yeah, and it is working now. So we just entered it. We just try to add the form to center. Let's add some margin in the top and 0 from bottom, and then we can just log into it. That's nice. We aren't using any SCSS syntax in this style, so we can just remove it. Okay, and we can also clear it, and when we clear it, it also remove all the errors. Nice. So let's just create a config file JS, and it will just export object API URL, and let's spin up our backend. And here is the link to our server. Okay, sorry, it's right here. And let's just look at our server code, because we are adding some prefixes to our routes, and I don't want to add those prefixes every time I make any request. So we can just, I mean prefix by this one, so we can add the URL like this, and then we can use this base URL in our other components, and then we can append other routes however the way we need. COC, I used to play COC, like I started playing COC for a while in like 2 or 3 months ago, but then I stopped. Height WebKit fit available. Let me look at this. I haven't used it in past. Converter between CM. I don't want that. Why is Google doing this? I'm not sure why. Let's try searching it here. What does that property does, Mr. PhD? WebKit fit available, feel available. Like, I'm not sure why I can find any reference. Usually Google is pretty good about that. And at this moment, now we will start using store. So Vuex store has 3 things. One is state, actually 4 things. The state will be the data which will be changing during our runtime, and then we have this mutations. Mutations are for updating value in state. Then we also have getters, which they didn't add here. Getters means then you can modify. So basically getters are like if you want to get a amount value of a integer, right, by adding like a $sign and converting it to 2 decimal places and everything like that, then you can create a getters which returns the values in maybe some formatted, or maybe after doing some mathematic steps. And then we have this, then we have our actions. Actions are basically a series which either usually in different view projects, actions are the place where they make requests to the API, get data, and then it execute the mutations. So those are the 4 things. And then we have this modules called modules. So basically you can create a different module which has this all 4 properties. So for example, at this moment, like we want a different module which handles all the auth related user related state management. So that's why we will create another module called user, and then we will use it as a module, rather than creating all the state for all kind of different components in the one object. It makes a bit hard to manage while we'll be working on a lot of states. So let's create a modules. Create a file, user.module.js, and we can create a we can just return an object which has state. Then we have getters. Not sure if we will be using it or not, but let's just add it for a while for now. Then we have mutations, then we have our actions, then there are some options like let me just open that Vuex modules. We can provide a name to our module. By using adding the feature called namespace true. Then whenever, so if you don't add that line, then it will still act it as a, it will still act all the setters and getters as a one object that I mentioned before. So now, but we don't want that, right? We want to get we want to differentiate different methods in different modules. So that's why we'll use this namespace property, and you can see that you can access those getters and setters like in this way. So that's we are going to do. I'll just use that, add that here. Mr. Petri, setters, yeah, you can say that setters are mutations. There's a lot of patterns here. Hey Vrishita, welcome to the stream. Hey Hiral, welcome to the stream. Okay, so what kind of state we will have in user module? So what I'm first thinking is, the first will be is admin. It's defaulted to false. Then there is logged in. Which will be false again. Then I don't think so we are returning anything from user, but we can also say username and blank if we need. This will be useful if we need username in any certain point, so that will be useful. So that's nice. Let's keep it that way. We can create a mutations. Then we get a value and state, right? Yeah, we get state and value. So the first argument we get in this function is the state, the current state when we are calling this mutation, and the value that we are passing it to the function. Then we can just update this dot state dot username to the value. We can also just stream it and convert it to string. We first need to convert to string and then trim it. Let's create another for we can directly change value in the state inside actions or inside mutation in any methods, but that is not a recommended way. And I will also show you. Let me just first create any dummy action. And we'll set the value to it. Now we can create a login action. And as far as I know, we can pass to values to login actions as well. Something like this. So the first argument here will be a store. So we are getting the whole store here, and we don't want that. We just the store, here as the store means this module, because we are namespacing it, otherwise it will return the whole store. So we can just grab state out of it, and we can also commit out of it. So and then we might have passed username and password, right? So credentials, and then what we will do is we will make request to our database, sorry, our server. So for that, let's create another folder called API. auth.api js, and let's create a function called login. And we will grab username and password. Then we can do a fetch request. First of all, let me just create a API URL for this, and then what we can do is let's just import that from config files called API URL. And we can just import it. From the config file. Okay. Why is it erroring out? Not found in the object. Oh yeah, it works a bit differently. We will need to write it like this way, so that we can import it and destructure it at the same time. Unexpected dangling. Would this work? Then it should work, because we have removed the dangling. Then that's why we need to update the value, variable name, sorry. Now it is working. Then we can call auth route and login. Export a function API that makes a path and posts data. Export a function API that takes a path and posts data. Yeah, we definitely can do that. That's right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that would be a better choice rather than creating multiple, like rather than repeating the code, right? That would be better choice. Thanks for that. So we can say, let's just call this as a api.js, and we can just add it to a source file, remove this folder. What should be the name for this function? Hey Arjun, welcome to the stream. I am good. How are you? Thank you so much for joining the stream. What would be a good name for this function? Yeah, yeah, let's just name it that. It won't work like that. Let's just do something like this. API path and data. Then we can make a fetch request. We also need to define which kind of request we want to make. There was a I don't think so. The thing is let's just call an options object, because when we're making fetch request to API URL, then we're also passing some options like a body, which will be a JSON.stringify the data. Is it called type? So what I mean by that, so we will be making get request to get to get the list of products, but we will be making a patch type of request when we will be upgrading product. We will be making a post type request when we will be creating a product. Yeah, it's oh yeah, we also need to add the content type. We really don't need that, because we have already handled it in server. We are passing it as JSON, but yeah, we can definitely, we should add it though, so that's why I'm doing it. We will say that is it a string value for that? It's been really long when I have used this in the past. Using fetch. Yeah, it's called method. Yeah, sorry, it will be inside headers. Yeah. And what we will do is I will change it to method, and so we will use the method that was provided. So if method is provided, then we will just use that method and make sure that it's in uppercase, otherwise it will be a get request. Okay, is there any other options we need to add? And in header option we also need to add a method. Would be better be the first arg, I think. Yeah, I was planning to change it later afterwards, so let's just do it first. So we will first provide a method, then path, and then data. You know what, we can also do something like this. So rather than passing individual arguments, we'll pass an object. But this, yeah, so this case will check if method is defined or not. If method is empty string or any other case, then it will. So if method has valid value, so valid value means post or valid value means a string without empty characters, then it will go to uppercase, otherwise it will use get. Do you see what I am trying to achieve here? And we will also append token from local storage. If you don't have any, then we are definitely going to error out from server, otherwise we will just append it to every request. I just got an idea. Let me just first complete this and I will show that we really don't need anything else. We can just remove this as well. Use a conditional expression for default argument. That's what. Oh, is it saying that should I go with sorry, I think it's saying something like this. Yeah, that will also work. And then we can just export this API function, and let's just create a new file called we can just do it in config. Let's call it request underscore methods, and it's an object where get says get post. Sorry about that, it was a fire alarm. Yeah, that worked. And we will create a patch. And a delete. Then we will use this object rather than passing a string. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so let's just, so in our in our store file in modules, we can import that API file, and it imported. Let me just fix the problems, and then we can call this function, pass a method, request underscore methods. I wish I would have been using TypeScript. It would be way easier to import stuff. Let's just import config called request methods, and then we can pass that here we want a post request. A path would be auth/login, and the data would be we have passed from the actions. I also need to return an promise rather than, yeah, we will just need to response is equal to awaited. I just await it and create it, make it as a async function, and then we can just return the response. So in our user file, we will also need to make this function as async. We can we can just call, oh sorry, we don't need to make it async because we are returning promise from this API function. Then we can do .then, and if we get any response, so for now we will just console it, and if we get any error, we will do the same for it. So how long I have been live? I have been live for 2 hours. That's cool. But I think I need to complete it as soon as possible because I have a lecture at 12 a.m. The API method should handle errors as well, maybe. Yeah, there is, yeah, that's right, that's right. The thing is, let me just first write a code so that we can check it in front end by running some method or everything. So that's what I want to do first. Should be similar to all of them, right? Yeah, it will be similar because the thing with the fetch is even if the response code is not 200, it will still then that response will not be catched in catch function. It will still be returning the same return object in then function, right? So we will need to make sure that error code is right. So we will do it later. Let me just first call this method when we click login, so that we can easily test this function. On submit, this dot view this is it called Vuex? Import from Vuex. It's called dispatch. I totally forgot how to call actions. Here is the example. It's called store.dispatch. Nice. So what I can do is I can import a Vuex from store, and then we can call store dot dispatch. Do we need this line? I'm not sure. And we want to call user module, right? That's what we have. No, we haven't even imported it. Sorry about that. So let's just import it. We want to dispatch a user slash login action, and we will pass values where username will be this dot username and password will be this dot password. So let's try that. State is defined but never used. Commit is defined but never used. It's in this file. What? Request method is not found in config file? Oh, yeah. It should be now it should work. Yeah, it is fine. Let's make sure we are making a request to server. We are making it. 400 requested route. Okay, yeah. I think I should just remove this part. Let's make a request again. And here is the request. Username is not allowed to be empty. Why? Because, oh. Username or password is invalid. Nice. So it is making request to our server. That's nice. That's cool. Read through it. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. So as you can see that at this moment it is not throwing out. It isn't logging as an error. It's still logging as a response. We can grab status from response, and if it's not 200 then we can just throw the error again. So let's go to API file. Promise return promise is equal to new resolve and reject. Response dot then we got a response. If response dot status is not equal to, we will also need to do this then data.json. Otherwise we can't access it as an object, right? response. Just ignore this for a moment. Data is already declared where it okay. So let's make a request again. And we are getting error code. We are returning error code in response. So we will use that one. So if response.error code, then we will throw an error. I think we will need to create a new block. Throw new error called with the message that we are sending from the response. Otherwise we will resolve the promise using with the response we got from server. Otherwise we will catch any error. Oh, we can also do something like this, right? And then it will pass that value to catch a reject function. And then we can just return the return promise. And after the catch, then you can just pass the response. Yep, in the API method, just do .catch in between. No need to create a new promise. Sorry about that. No need to create a new promise. So what do you mean by doing do catch in between? So can I add catch block between two thens? So do you mean that I add this part, this one? So first I will add catch block here, and sorry, I will add this block. Oh, okay, I never knew that. I used to do this in past. So let me know if I'm doing it correctly. So dot then and we don't need this as well. Then I can just return the response, right? Is this correct? Yeah, so sorry. So if we are getting the error code, then it's then. Can we call resolve method inside this? Oh, sorry, we can just return the response at this moment, right? And then we will get this response data in our dot then whenever we call this function. Am I correct? Okay, cool. API version 1 auth login does not found because the user does not exist. Yeah, username or password is invalid. Okay, I closed that file accidentally. Oh, think I am throwing a wrong error message. Yeah, username and password is invalid. That's nice. That is working now. It is also saying that it's 404. Good. It's api.js. You're throwing a new error. Nice. Which we are catching it in catch block. And let's try logging with admin account. And if we submit it, we are getting a username token. Nice. And a message that we are logged in. So if we are logged in, then I want to set. So first of all, we will get a store. We will get commit from store, and we will call a method called user slash update username, and we'll pass the value from response. Is logged in will be true. Now you can unpack the response directly there way. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. It's really useful. In the past I used to create a different promise. It's really nice. Instead of response add username, etc. Oh yeah, I can also do that, right? We can say username, we need token, and we can just remove this. Then we will also save the token to local store. So let's go with admin. It's password, submit it. I used the wrong password, copy it again. Let me first go to application, make sure that we don't have anything local store. That's the webpack thing. When we submit it, we get token and we are saving it to local store. User is logged. Okay, we are saying getting unknown local mutation type, user update username. Okay. Okay, so I think the syntax for it is a bit different. I thought it was something like this, and then we pass some option called module. Does that work? submit. Mutation type is logged in. Oh, it's called update. Oh shit, it's called update. Yeah, that's work. So what I was saying, that why we should use mutations, because when you go to this time machine tool in Vuex, you can see that whenever we run mutation, you can see a log of it when it was run, right? What it does, so this was the payload, and this is what the state was before, after it changed the value. So you can go through different list and you can see how it was before, and then you can identify the bug if you want. And you can also, if you want to just change your state to the previous one, so let's go to the base state. Then when you click this time travel button, it will set your application to with that old you can say old state, the old position. So it's kind of a version control. It's really useful when you are debugging the project. So that's why we should use the mutations to update values rather than updating value directly. Yes, you can change those and have multiple catch. That's true. Yeah, that's nice. There are things that I think we will need to change in the next stream. That, let me just create a file. Next stream dot to do. Oh, I can create a dot to do file. That was something new. I might next stream to do dot md. What we are going to do in next stream is update backend to return is admin in response. I think we are not returning it in response at this moment. Yeah, so that we can keep track of we can keep track which component to show to the user, if user is admin or not. And for that we need this is admin field from the response. Hide logout button, hide other side, hide navigation if user is not logged in. And we will also need to hide admin paths from normal user. And we will also need to make sure the routes are secured. And we will also do one thing: whenever our app loads, check if user is already logged in or not. So what I mean by this last step is, whenever our app loads, and if we see there is a token available in local store, then we will make sure that the token is valid. This way we can remove that login route, and we can directly redirect user to the dashboard, which means in this case the dashboard is the products route. Yeah, Vue is really cool, and especially like I tried adding Vuetify, so it did make a bit confusing at first. But when you are just starting out with Vue, with like using like writing components from scratch, it's really amazing. So that's why I just prefer it. And as you can see that we have already written so many things. It was really fast, so that's nice. Thanks, Mr. PhD, for that. So I think that is for this stream. From next stream we will start implementing this, and we will start working on the products route. I think the products view will be the most complicated, because we will need to make sure, we will need to create multiple input boxes for each product, for each store they have, right? So that's why it will be a bit confusing, a bit challenging, not that much, but there will be some challenging to accomplish the task. So that's all for today's stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I think I will be back next Monday and next Wednesday, so next week. Yeah, nice looking to do that. Look fun. See you later. Yeah, see ya. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a good day. Take care, guys.